So this morning, I wanted to make a post about family planning and uh, how I decided and how I thought of having children when I was in the middle of a really abusive relationship that was really inappropriate. I am not saying that anybody should do or should think the way I think. I'm just saying that this is how I thought of the situation when I was going through it. And if somebody hears this and in some way it offers them a little bit of insight or some help, that's really good. So, my situation in an abusive relationship was pretty severe. It was so obvious and inappropriate um, because of how I met the abuser that would not allow me to leave. I could not get away. If I did get away for a short time, he would find me. And also, I found out some years later that actually my own family and relatives had something to do with him keeping me with him. I met him as a teenager in foster care, and then he literally pulled me from a group home within the town that I used to live in, and uh, pretty much kept me against my will for a couple of years. The authorities found that out, and they found out that my relatives and my family members had some involvement with that entire situation and how it all played out. And so we were able to litigate, take him to court, and he was convicted for actually committing a crime against me that was with the all intents and purposes of getting me pregnant by him. So when that happened, uh, the first thought in my mind was, can I protect my child? Now, I don't know how or why or when this happened, but it seems to be a very almost uncool thing now for mothers to be protective of their children, to rather than uh, you know uh, making sure that they do not have any children that are in relationship that is even unsafe for the mother. Is somehow in our society we've gone backwards a little bit, in my opinion, and um, to avoid having the children within an abusive relationship suddenly becomes a woman who dislikes children in some way. So I don't know all the social mores that sort of caused that to be the thinking of society in general. But I really didn't care about any thoughts or opinions of me as a woman. Uh, my only concern was making it so that in the safest, uh, most legal way possible, I could protect my unborn child. So I chose not to have a child, and I chose not to have children for many years until current, because well, for obvious reasons. I do have a lot of relatives and family members and their friends in a small town that, you know, they they definitely played a role in ensuring that as an adolescent girl I was abused and exploited and put into a lot of pretty despicable situations. Um, and so, me deciding now not to have children, does that sort of glean the abusers a little bit of control over me, over my thinking, over my life? Sure, but the way I think about that is, the more control you take, the less control you have, right? So, um, I am certainly not criticizing anybody or judging anybody for having children within an abusive relationship. Mine was fairly obvious. I didn't meet the abuser outside of foster care. He was a married man, he had two small children of his own. Uh, to me, the things that were going on in front of these two small children of his own were absolutely despicable and disgusting. And as a mother, I would never allow my own children to ever be in anywhere near a situation like that. Um, I have seen uh, I've seen women that have children with abusers, like the caregivers appointed by the Canadian provincial government that I was placed in the home of, although unwittingly. So I know that that you know that that's definitely a thing that happens. I don't understand that either. Uh, to my way of thinking, um, and my way of thinking at the time was, I'm never going to allow my own child to see or be anywhere in the vicinity or environment of this individual and his still wife and his extended family, because these are some very to say the least, toxic and absolutely misguided individuals. And that was really, uh, I believe that the motives of this man was to continue the cycle of abuse. Now I've had a child. I am the target within my own family. Now I've had a child with him. The cycle of abuse, my extended family can now abuse my child in my place in case they actually manage to get rid of me. I wasn't privy to that information so much back then. But like I said, the way I thought of it and the way I think of it still now was that absolutely above all, my child has to be safe. And there there's no question that my child will never suffer the way I have and the way I've seen other children have at the hands of these individuals. And that was just the way I thought of it back then. So I handled the situation, like I said, as legally and as safely and medically as possible. And I don't mind sharing that. But yeah, that's a really obvious situation. So, if you've met the love of your life and he turns out to be a toad, and you have children, please don't think I'm judging.